Happy Thursday, all. Good to see you. This is Father Peter at St. Mark's. Thanks for just taking a few moments on this Thursday to stop and reflect along with me. This Sunday, the reading that we're going to hear comes straight from the Gospel of Matthew in the 13th chapter, and in it, Jesus is telling stories once again, and he is giving us parables to help understand what the presence of God looks like in this world. And he tells this parable: the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed that someone took and sowed in his field. It's the smallest of all seeds, but when it is grown, it's the greatest of shrubs and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and make nests in its branches. Jesus goes on after that to compare the kingdom of God to being just like some yeast, a little bit of yeast that makes bread rise and gives life and fullness to things. He goes on and says the kingdom of God is like a pearl of great value. Again and again, he tells us that God's presence, God's life in this world is like these little things that can change the world. And I think that's a good reminder for us this week. I don't know about you, but it still feels like the world is a little small, and my part in it is often feeling a little small these days. It doesn't feel like there are huge things I can do. I can make videos. I can help lead some weekly services. I can help take baby steps towards us resuming in-person worship like we are now on Wednesday. I can take baby steps to help others find ways to have connection and maybe be the light and grace of God to others. But nothing feels huge and great. And in a time where there's so much need and so many people calling out for change and for justice, as so many people are suffering, as so many people are dealing with job loss and job insecurity and questions around school and all kinds of different things, I feel like I want to do something big. And Jesus reminds me, that's not necessarily what the call is. Yeah, there are times when we do big and amazing things, but above all, God's presence, God's life, God's love doesn't show up in huge, earth-shaking ways. It shows up in little things, like that little mustard seed, or like those marigold seeds that we planted here at the church that now are blooming around the church. God's grace and love shows up in little ways, like just a bit of yeast, which transforms some pretty flat and heavy dough into something that's light and airy and wonderful. God's presence in this world usually is not going to show up through me or through you doing huge, enormous things. It's through us doing little, faithful things. Acts of kindness, acts of compassion, picking up a phone and calling somebody, letting somebody go by us when we're driving, showing love and kindness to a stranger, putting our mask on, even when we're sick of it and our face feels hot. Little things are places where God's grace will show up again and again. So, my friends, maybe you feel like me. You wish you could do something big. You could change it all right now. But remember, the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed. May we be faithful in little things today, tomorrow, and in the days to come. Thanks for spending time with me. God bless you all. Bye-bye.